So the 2024 WNBA Draft happened, 3 months ago now? It's still too early, but halfway through their rookie year, we are going to be redrafting all of the rookies in this rookie class. But before we get on to it, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We're trying to hit 25.1k subscribers, and we are currently 8 off. So, first pick in the draft, the Indiana Fever select Caitlin Clark. Obviously, one of the greatest rookies of all time, Caitlin Clark. Her shot hasn't fallen, but she's probably going to go down as the greatest passer in the history of the WNBA. I don't really foresee a situation where she doesn't go down as the greatest passer in the history of the WNBA. So for me, this one is obvious. This one is just so obvious that there's no point even worrying too much about it. She's the number 1 overall pick. The number 2 pick in the WNBA draft, the LA Sparks, for upside, select Rickea Jackson. So you might be saying, why not Angel Reese here? If you're asking me, I think for fit, if you were to ask the Sparks, who would they rather have right now on their team? Especially when they have Derek Hamby. They've got other players who they would take right now with the way she's playing. I think they would take Rickea Jackson. Look, she's not had the best rookie year. Obviously, she's not in the rookie of the year conversations. But Rickea Jackson's a 6'4" wing who can play at a 3-4, can score the ball at an elite rate, can create her own shot a bit. Not the worst defender in the world. I think it would not surprise me if she ends up being the best rookie out of this class long term. Again, I think it's crazy to bet on anyone but Caitlin Clark, but it would not surprise me if she ends up being the best. And especially when you have Derek Hamby playing the same position as Angel Reese. I still think you're going to take, if you are LA Sparks, for them, and it's not even just fit related. I don't think as a player, Angel Reese is that much better that you would go against the fit. So I think you would take Rickea Jackson at number 2. At number 3, obviously, the Chicago Sky select Angel Reese. Even though Cameron Brink is still on the board, there's no way they would take Cameron Brink. Look, Elizabeth Williams is there. Izzy Harrison is there. If you're looking for need, they've got the 7th pick in the draft as well. They can get a guard then. So I think there's no way. There's no way, knowing what they know now, that they would pass an Angel Reese. I think Angel Reese in any situation but Chicago is not even in the top 2 or 3 rookies. I think she is a perfect player for Chicago. Chicago is the perfect place for her. Teresa Weatherspoon is the perfect coach for Angel Reese. I think putting Angel Reese out of that situation would spell disaster for Chicago, and it would also spell disaster for Angel Reese. So there's no redraft where I'm not going to redraft Angel Reese to Chicago. It will be up at 3 rather than at 7, but there's no way that any situation works out better both ways than Angel Reese to Chicago. At 4, the LA Sparks select Cameron Brink. So Cameron Brink has been pretty okay as a rookie. She obviously came in as the best shot blocker in the league. The fact that the best shot blocker in the league, best rebounder, and best passer in the league are all in the same rookie class, and they've all come in as rookies, it's crazy. Obviously, ACL tear. Even with that, you can't take into account injuries this early. You don't know how she's going to bounce back. I assume okay, because, well, to be fair, it's not like 20 years ago. The ACL injuries aren't a complete career ender anymore. But still, I think that there's absolutely no way that LA would pass, especially with who's left in the draft. If you're asking LA, even would you get a guaranteed good player in Aaliyah Edwards, for the upside of what Cameron Brink can give you, there's no way, and I mean it, no way that they pass on her. So, with the 5th pick, the Dallas Wings select Aaliyah Edwards. So the Dallas Wings in this draft made a quite big mistake. They made the mistake of drafting for fit rather than just who the best player available was. And I think in a redraft, they don't do that. Ironically, in a redraft, it's not the worst thing in the world to take JC Sheldon. I was considering them still taking JC Sheldon at 5, but I do think that Aaliyah Edwards has shown enough that she deserves that spot at 5. You might be saying Cardoso, but they do have 2 6'7" centers already on their team. And I don't know, I just think it's hard. They've got enough size at that 5 position that I would just be I don't see where a third 6'7" player fits in. but you just never know. They might have just gone with the all-giant lineup and put Cardoso in. And you might be saying, oh, but like there was a reason why they didn't take Angel Reese at 5. And there was also the reason why they didn't take her. But in hindsight, it was a bad decision. Obviously, Satu was part of the reason why. And Satu's been injured. Natasha Howard was injured for quite a bit of the year. I still think, even though JC Sheldon is still a legitimate option, I still think they take Aaliyah Edwards. At number 6, the Washington Mystics select Camila Cardoso. So Cardoso is a huge body who I think in a redraft, going 6 to Washington would be the steal of the draft. I think her fit in Chicago is not the best. I also don't think if you take Angel Reese at 3, that she does not fall to 7. She does not fall back in Chicago's lap. So, and I think Dallas just, as far as fit-wise is concerned, they probably don't have the, they don't really have the necessary team to let Cardoso thrive. To be fair, Chicago isn't either. I think in Washington, you can definitely move Dolson to the 4. It's not going to be a very fast team, but at least Dolson can shoot the ball and spread it out. You can play a slow down style of basketball. You can play it like a slow down half court style, and you've got your perimeter defender in Ariel Atkins. The only issue is that Shakira Austin is also a center, and you don't really want to draft Cardoso to bring her off the bench. But at the same time, look, at 6, you don't draft for fit. Even if you are bringing Cardoso off the bench, from what we've seen from some of the South Carolina things, she would have been completely fine with that. Especially, like, she'd be starting this year anyway. And then when Austin Austin comes back, they will look really good. Like, I think the Mystics are going to be a good team long term, just not short term. At number 7, the Chicago Sky will draft Carla Leite. And you might be saying, who? She was a player that is currently with the French national team. I don't think she made their final Olympics roster because, again, they have, what's her name? Their point guard, is it Johannes? Like, whoever the French point guard is the best guard outside the WNBA. But she's also 2 years younger. Like, she is, like, born in the year 2003. So she is, like, more... If she was American, she'd be too young to have gone to the WNBA draft this year. She is younger, a year and a bit younger than Caitlin Clark. So even her being gone for a year, if she comes over, she was the second best guard in the draft. She can pass, she can shoot the ball, she scores the ball really well. And especially for Chicago Sky, where you need a point guard. You need a point guard that can pass and score a little bit. Doesn't have to be the out-and-out main scorer in your team. And another player that I was saying could have maybe fit that role was a JC Sheldon. I think JC Sheldon, even though she's not a point guard, could have fit that role much better than, for example, what Dana Evans is doing. And Lindsay Allen, legitimately, as good as she's been, she cannot shoot the ball. And she keeps shooting it. I still think long-term pick for the Chicago Sky, it'll probably sort out their point guard position long-term. I think Carla Leite would be the perfect player to take there at 7. At number 8, the Minnesota Lynx take JC Sheldon. I think JC Sheldon is a player, again, that could have fit in. I think she would be fine with Minnesota. She's a good enough defender. She shoots the ball pretty well. And she's a good, like, connective piece for a team. She's a solid role player. And I was considering taking her at 7 and saying maybe Chicago can turn her into a point guard, especially when you've already got Angel Reese there. You've got Elizabeth Williams. You've got Izzy Harrison. You've got Kennedy Carter. Maybe to keep Marina Mabry if they are looking a bit more competitive. That is a team where you're just like, okay, that is a legitimate playoff team. But I do think long-term Leite is going to be the better guard. And I also think fit-wise for the Minnesota Lynx, JC Sheldon is a much, much better fit than Elisa Pili. So I think she's really not a bad pickup here. And I don't think Dallas is a good fit for her. And she's shown the last couple of weeks that she's like a good WNBA level player, a good rotation piece. I think Minnesota would be a great spot for her, just the way she plays. At number 9, now this one's a little bit out of left field. At number 9, the Dallas Wings select Nika Mule. So in real life, they took, look, the team really needs that point guard. I know Odyssey Sims came in, but they do need something other than Odyssey Sims because Enrique cannot play point guard. The thing is that in real life, they used this pick on Carla Leite, I think? Or was it Layla Lacan? I need to check which one. They used it on one of the 2 French players that never came over. But they're also very, very young. Whereas I think that using one of their above picks on... Actually, no. I was going to say one of them they sent away. No, they didn't. In this, they take Aaliyah Edwards. So they've got their power forward sorted and backup power forward. And I think she could have done a job. Like, they took Carla Leite as a point guard draft and stash player. I think if she was still on the board, they would still take her. But I think Nika Mule will come in and give you solid minutes. She'll play solid defense. She'll pass the ball decently enough. She's not going to do anything crazy. And I think when you've got Enrique at the 1, whether she's a starting point guard or backup point guard, I think she could have given you good minutes and been a very, very solid piece for a Dallas team that has been terrible this season. And I think Nika Mule and Aaliyah Edwards is a better pickup for them than JC Sheldon. And with the number 10 pick, the Connecticut Sun still take Layla Lacan. She is born in 2004. She is even younger. Like, she is younger than anyone else in this draft by quite a bit. She's over 2 years younger than Caitlin Clark, 2 years younger than Angel Reese, 3 years younger than Cardoso. I think she's 3 years younger than Rickea Jackson as well. So she is like a high upside player. And if you're the Connecticut Sun, especially because you are like, you don't have any flexibility in the salary cap, if she comes over and develops into something good, she could be something serious. She could be a serious player. With the 11th pick, the New York Liberty. Okay, I think the Liberty is going to look for someone that can come in and help them right away. And I think a player that could help them a lot more than the player they took. Like, they took Marquisha Davis, who's done nothing for them. I think just purely based on coming in and giving you some defense, I still think they'll take Celeste Taylor. I think you would take Celeste Taylor. I think she showed enough in Phoenix that she is a long-term WNBA player. She's going to be a good bench player for whatever team she's on. She showed enough in those couple of games in Phoenix. With Elisa Pili still on the board, I don't think they take her. I just don't. I think it's a situation where you're like, okay, what does she bring to New York Liberty? And for me, the answer is nothing. I think she's a 5'11", not in great shape, not mobile, power forward. I just don't see, other than the one game where went off, she's got all the skills in the world. I just don't see a situation where she is a first-round WNBA draft pick. I really don't. And now this one is crazy. The Atlanta Dream had the 12th pick, and I'm predicting them to take somebody that did not play a single minute in the WNBA this year. Someone who was cut from their team. And then, obviously, I think she's gone off to play in Israel now. Daisha Fair. So, the Atlanta Dream do not have a point guard right now. They do not have a point guard. They don't have scoring guards. They've got nothing. They're terrible. Like, with Ryan Howard out, the Atlanta Dream are absolutely shocking. Their best player is an old Tina Charles. So, Jordan Canada is their main guard who's injured. Nobody else, like, Maya Caldwell's there. She's doing pretty well. But again, like, the Fever cut her last year. So it's not like she's anything special. Alicia Gray's a wing. Sometimes you just need someone to go. And again, Ariel Power's been hurt. Sometimes you just need someone to go out there and cook. And Daisha Fair is somebody that can go out there and cook. Is she the best player in the world? No. Is she even a good WNBA player? I don't think so. But I just think with the Atlanta Dream, with what they need, which is firepower at the point guard position, I'm looking through the draft. There's no one else to take. They ended up drafting, stashing somebody, but I don't think they thought they were going to be this bad this year. So I think Daisha Fair could have at least come in and had a couple of big games scoring-wise anyway. So anyway, that is the video. That is the redraft of the WNBA draft. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree? Do you guys disagree? Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.